Hey, baby. I gotta stop. Okay. Hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Oh, man. Hello, and welcome. You are listening to the Whistledown Wine Down with Krystal and Mara, a podcast dedicated to our favorite show, Bridgerton, from Shondaland Media, streaming on Netflix. I'm Krystal, a wannabe librarian who loves to get lost in the story, and a Shonda stan who constantly asks, does this make me a bad feminist? I love a good romance novel, but thought Regency era fictions were my own guilty pleasure. I now know better.
And I'm Mara, a lover of British period dramas and a huge Jane Austen fan. If I could put myself anywhere, it would be in the writer's room at Shondaland to watch the magic happen. I didn't know there were others like me that enjoyed reading historical romance novels. I feel like I have found my people. All right, Krystal. Today we're talking about Bridgerton, season 2, episode 5, and Unthinkable Fate. Dun, dun, dun. So grab your glass of wine, tea, and another favorite beverage, and let's get into it. Cheers.
Let me get myself together while we're here. Am I allowed to do this? Is there a violation?
You know what?
Sorry.
Look, you know, I try. I mean, I even did like the dun, dun, dun. You know what I mean? Like,
I forgot about what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not even doing this correctly, y'all. This is what happens.
What is that? What kind of wine is this? What are we drinking?
This is from the Blue Ridge Winery in Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Lovely place. Meanwhile,
okay.
I haven't opened wine in a while because this is taking way too long.
Girl, you got to get that that forearm wrist action. And I was just about to say that. I'm like, maybe you brought it a little bit lower. Is it in the thing? Like, are you? No, it's not.
It's not even turning in. Okay, no, now it's moving. Okay. It looks like it's just plain in here. What is happening?
Did you?
I'm out of sync. Okay. Either way, it's what is this? It's a brown sugar pumpkin spice red blend.
Ooh,
it's actually really,
red blend.
Good. I was very surprised when I tasted it. Because sometimes I think some of y'all overdo pumpkin spice. I'm going to say it. I understand how pumpkin spice became like, it became a cereal. It was more than just for the pie. I was like, why is everyone putting pumpkin spice in everything? So when I saw
oversaturation,
it was too much. So when I saw it on the list, I was like, I don't really think this is gonna work. And then I tasted it and it was actually delicious.
Hey now.
Yeah. So it's really good. So that's what I said I'm gonna have today. Fill my cup, do that. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about today's episode.
Oh my goodness. And I am purposely wearing the Lip Bar Boss Lady lipstick. Yes, I'm doing a shout out to the Lip Bar because I love them so much. I love all their colors, but this one right here, I felt was perfect because this episode was hot. It was steamy. I mean, people having all this it's just a culmination of all these anticipation moments just kind of coming all together for our little lovebirds, Kat and Anthony, because honey, I was like, woo, I don't have enough adjectives from the dictionary right now to describe this episode. Episode 5 was the episode from beginning to end. I have no criticism. The intensity between the two. Whoo, loved it. So, okay.
I'm about to give me 1 second. I'm gonna be, excuse me, one moment. Just
producer, she left.
Yeah,
she left. You know what? I'm gonna report you. You just gotta.
Sorry, I'm not supposed to leave the cameras.
I'm telling.
However, okay.
I'm telling.
I wanted to say, I'm gonna get fired today. What I did want to say is we are on episode 5, correct?
Yes.
And one thing I wanted to acknowledge is like it took us a while to get to a point where we were excited about the episode.
Yes. Excited about the characters.
Yes.
Like our main yes, absolutely. Yes.
And I think that is like, because I know, and I talk about the podcast, I talk about the show, and I'm always trying to get people to watch it. Like, it's not just about like, hey, listen to the podcast. I'm always like, have you watched Bridgerton? Because I actually want people to watch it to get their response and their reaction to it. But I've been finding more and more that I'm like, the first season's better than second season. And I think, and we talked about this offline, about this really feeling like the sophomore album for Netflix's Bridgerton. This was rough. We're at episode 5, and it's like we've been waiting for something. We've been waiting for it, and I think part of me is excited that we finally got here, but I'm also like low-key disappointed that it took this long for there to be some level of like I really feel something now. Like I was waiting, even rewatching it. I'm just like, dang, this took this long to happen. Like. I finally feel like, okay, we're finally somewhere. We're finally like, there's some like movement happening. So there's some depth, there's some layers. Like now it's starting to feel real. Yeah. So I just wanted to point that out. Like, I'm not criticizing the episode at all, but it's just like, just the recognition of like the different feel this season, and just the fact that it's not where it was just surprising about how the flow went and how it did feel very like, here, and then we finally like shot up for this episode.
Agreed. So much meat is in this episode. We're getting more details about Lady Mary, the girl's mother, and how she, her parents found a proper suitor for her. And, I guess old boy had the bag and everything, but she chose love. And her parents could not accept it. And this was definitely a defining moment for Lady Mary, not only for Anthony, but we'll get into that, but for Lady Mary as well, because there was this big buildup for her to return back to London, return back to society after choosing love. But of course, as she chose love, which was a gentleman that was below her station, and this gentleman also had a child from a previous marriage, and very scandalous. So like you said, so many layers, so much meat into this episode. I think it's time for us to get into the quick bread. Is that okay with you?
I'm ready, girl.
All right, here we go. With
the pour before we start.
Okay, let me make sure I see this. There you go. Producer, come get it.
Cheers, Mara.
Cheers. That's what I'm going to start saying. When you be like, producer, come get her. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, y'all, let's get into this quick bread. All right. Is Anthony and Kate feeling the culmination of those secret moments? I would say yes. It's getting real steamy now, everybody. Lady Featherington will always look out for her family. A new family scheme has just been hatched. Benedict finds his purpose with his art. Colin is still trying to find himself. But you know what, though? All of us are still trying to find ourselves. Meeting the in-laws can always be messy. But these Sheffields are on a whole other level. Eloise is hanging around some revolutionary folks for power to the people. Lady Whistledown is right. When duty is in conflict with one's desire, it is a perfect recipe for a scandal. Krystal. I know we kind of highlighted it a little bit, but that engagement dinner with the Sheffields, capital MESSY.
Fire! There was a lot going on at dinner.
Oh my goodness. So let's go ahead and start with Pass the Scones, because I'm just going to start it off by saying my favorite scenes for this whole episode, anytime I saw Kate and Anthony in the same room, the chemistry was just off the chain. And I love the montage of the anticipation moments that started the episode because it was perfect. It put us exactly where we needed to be as viewers, to be in Kate's shoes and lightweight in Anthony's. Because you know what? Anthony all of a sudden got a poker face in this episode. He up there acting like, oh no, all these anticipation moments didn't affect me. Next thing I know, this man is up here telling her like, look, I don't care how far away you get from me, I'm still going to be having all these indecent thoughts about you, and I'm still going to be yearning for you. And of course, the favorite line of the episode. So we know in season 1, the big line for Simon to Daphne was, I burn for you. Mm-hmm. Let's do it again. I burn for you. Okay, there we go. But in this episode, Anthony, it is just like, you are the bane of my existence. What, the bane of my existence?
The bane of my existence.
Bane, okay? The bane of my existence, but the object of all of my desires. Girl, if I don't know what a two-faced quarter looks like, I know what it looks like now. Because I am split, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, how can I be that way for someone else? Girl, I started thinking of my exes. I'm like, they probably thought about me that same way, because I know I work someone's nerves sometimes.
No, because when he said it, I know everyone that watches, when he says that, your first thought is like, dang. And then you're just like, oh. And then you're like, wait.
And the camera work from one shoulder to the other. And I was
felt like the angel and the devil on that, like,
yes. But that's what Anthony wants, though. What he wants is right in front of him, but he's scared of it. He's scared of what it could lead to. And of course, we think worst case scenario, Mama and Papa Bridgerton's love. But he's not seeing how Mama Bridgerton continues the love. Even though Papa Bridgerton is not there in the flesh, that doesn't mean the love stopped. She still love her man. She still love him. She just found a new way of loving him because he's not physically there. But regardless, though, Anthony's scared. He's scared. But Jonathan Bailey, yes, sir. Every scene with Kate, even when he jumped in that lake and he was frustrated.
Did he jump in, or did he mess himself up, doing a little too much?
Yes, that part. Doing a little bit too much, trying to grab the sister's hand to help her out. I mean, this man was breaking his neck. That man was so jealous at that lake when he saw, what's his name, Dorset? Mr. Dorset take her on a little small boat ride. He was livid.
As soon as that man showed up, as soon as Edwina says, don't they make a lovely couple? He was like, who is she talking to? And he was okay, sorry. We are in past the scones.
Yes.
We're going to talk about it. But one of my favorite things in this episode, actually, I'll give her my third one.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of my favorite moments is, again, it's all of them, but it's every time you see Mama Bridgerton or Lady Danbury, and they're like, literally, here's the shot of what's happening, and here's the knowing, like, oh, heck to the no. Because when they're talking to him, so you have Mama Bridgerton and Edwina. Talking to Anthony. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Edwina.
Yeah, you're good. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have them talking to Anthony. Anthony's nowhere in the picture. Edwina's lost.
Nowhere.
He's still trying to help her. But
Mama still trying to help her. Oh God, yes.
Mama Bridgerton is in full panic mode in that moment. She's kind of like, what the? She's like, oh my God. She's like, oh my God. Like, she knows what's wrong. Yes. And she's like, this isn't good. And then you have Lady Danbury, who I love in the first scene when after Kate's been fanning herself, trying to get her thoughts together. When Anthony passes her rudely with that stupid little freaking Pinky. Pinky.
I know that was me grunting, y'all. That was me grunting out of frustration.
Right. So
go ahead.
They gave us that remnant of season 1 with the passing hands. But Lady Danbury, who turns immediately and looks out the window like, I see you. Like, and I was just like, oh my God. But yeah, so that would, for me, has to be one of the favorite parts, is just like on both sides, there's the adult, there's like the mother figure who's just like, you have to figure this out. And also like, what are you going to do? Are you going to be the one to say, to like, not do this? Like Mama Bridgerton's giving you an out and she's saying, you could talk to her, this, that, and the third. And then Lady Danbury is like, don't mess this up. She's like, think about what's going to happen. Like, you like, think about it. This may not work in anyone's favor in the end. So please like be smart. And so it's very interesting to see all of those things. But my favorite part had to be like, specifically it was Mama Bridgerton's face when she's like realizes Anthony's not paying attention, and she looks to see what it is, and she's kind of just like, oh my God, like, because in her mind she's like, he's been caught. Like she's like, I know everybody just saw that, but here we are.
Ooh.
That's fun.
Ooh. Yes.
I would like you to tell the people who your favorite character is, because I know. Yes, please let the people.
Yes, no, absolutely. It is Anthony Bridgerton. It is absolutely Anthony Bridgerton, played by Jonathan Bailey, who absolutely killed it in this episode. From the desperation and passion moments to when he told his future grandfather-in-law. Does that make sense? Yes, grandfather-in-law. Told the grandfather-in-law and grandmother-in-law, both of you can kick rocks.
Yeah.
When he completely undressed them and told them that they could kick rocks, and not only kick rocks, but you can wait outside.
That was like, I was like, not telling them to wait outside.
Right? Look, now usually when you walk into a house, during that era, there's like the little foyer. You got a little nice little foyer, and then you wait to be greeted. He said, no, forget the foyer, be outside. And I don't care if it's raining or not. I don't care if it's cold. But let me ask you this real quick though, because during this umpteenth time, I watched the episode. Did you see the dagger of looks that Mama Bridgerton gave Lady Danbury?
Yes, because because they show you the scene of her looking at someone, it's the best face. Again, the facial.
Girl, I mean,
the shots were like, everybody was on point this episode. Everybody was ready.
Absolutely.
Her whole face was just like, really, like, it's okay. Dang it. Nope, we're gonna get into this because there's a question for you for later, but it goes back to it. It deals with that feeling.
Okay. So that part right there. Of course, we talked about the intense scene between the two of them, and Anthony's telling Kate, and we're seeing Anthony's vulnerability. We're seeing him being honest, like he's finally like being honest with his feelings and emotions, and he's telling her like, look, I am feeling you heavy, sis, like heavy, but I know I'm engaged to your sister, but I'm struggling here. I'm really struggling. And Kate, I think she's getting the confirmation that she had been hoping for. And because up until then, Anthony had been really that poker, even though he has a horrible poker face, because we both know the minute he goes silent, that's his telltale sign, right? But she really has not gotten that full confirmation other than from the library scene, because if we go a couple hours earlier in the day, when Anthony and the jeweler were waiting in the day room for Kate, Edwina, and Mary to come back from shopping, but it's only Kate that had come back to the house. And remember, they're in the day room. Yo, that jeweler was hilarious. That man is always looking for some cake. Yeah. But wait a minute, how is it these families just got random cake hanging out? Like,
your baker,
there's nothing.
things like prep.
Does nothing spoil though? Like, does nothing?
Everything is made fresh, Mara.
Oh, I was just like, ooh. I was like, y'all better not be wasting no food. But that man always looking for a meal. But anyways,
he asked for little sandwiches. Like, I'm like, sir, you were only
but
here for
he had an order though.
Yes.
Krystal, did you notice that? Like, and like he told it like offbeat. Like he knew. He was just like, yes. So go ahead and give me two of everything.
Sandwiches. I was like, you asked for cake. You asked for a lemon cake slice. And you wanted you put a whole order. I did appreciate how Kate was like not Kate, and then also again somebody in the background, but the staff looked at Kate like, Kate, did he just ask me for food? Like the staff did look at her like are you serious? Are we about to do this? And she's like
yeah, right. Like she's like, yeah, she's like, but so for that scene right there, I think is the most sweetest, innocent scene between the two, because the jeweler is sizing up the potential wedding, the wedding ring. Edwina, they need Edwina's finger to confirm that she, that doesn't need to be altered or not. And so the jeweler finds out or asks the most, innocent question: do you and your sister share gloves? And Kate says yes. And so the jeweler comes over, and I love his expressions. I love that actor. I can't remember his name right now, but I've seen him in a lot of stuff, and he's really, really great. But his facial expressions and the way that he kind of enters the scene and exits the scene is just like, you are a seasoned actor. Like, you know what to do. But during their conversation, one of the lines that I know is just going to completely bite them, both of them, in the butt. But this time, Kate tells, Anthony, like they're talking about, how can he continue to go through this proposal, knowing everything that happened between them at Aubrey Hall. Kate says, everything that passed between us at Aubrey Hall, right? Anthony responds saying, nothing passed between us at Aubrey Hall. And I looked at that and I was just like, why are you lying to yourself again? Like, you're continuing this narrative that you don't have feelings for her, or you're trying to keep a front. You're trying to keep a strong front that there's nothing there, but yet you two got caught in the library with Daphne, and you up there even asking her, tell me to stop. I'm like, whoa, pause, good brother. Like, you reminded me of a Jodeci music video right now. Like, you really trying to seduce old girl, but then you trying to tell her like, oh, nothing passed between us.
I really thought you were going to get stuck on the fact about the little betrothal ring piece, because I was like, I really hope Mara did not forget that this man came in asking her about the weather. And I was like, if that ain't it, they're going to act like nothing happened. I'm going to ask you about the weather. And when Kate said, are you really going to ask me about the weather right now? I was like, that is exactly what I said before she said it. I'm like, you asking her about the weather? Like, I was so insulted.
Come on.
So therefore,
I saw it coming though. I mean, like, the man was never going to go directly. Anthony doesn't go direct. He's always going around the corner.
Yeah, this is her favorite, y'all. Anthony, can I tell you how I put jerk in my notes?
Go ahead and tell me.
I put jerk in my notes. Oh no, sorry. I'm looking to see if that was part of my favorites. It's not part of my favorites. It's just me like acknowledging how I feel about Anthony Bridgerton and his actions. I was like, look at this. This man's a jerk.
I love it. I love it.
He was not my favorite character. However, my favorite character had
Hater.
to go. I guess my favorite character went to Prudence Featherington, because Prudence.
We barely saw her. Wait, what?
Listen, I need y'all to go and watch Prudence, who is on cloud 9 after she's now a fiance. Okay, she's out here.
A whole fiance.
He's like, you can't touch it. You can't touch it. She's like, just look. Like, she is loving this moment in her life, and she's playing the part to a T, because the way she carries herself, she's having the time of her life. when they're sitting around in the house and she's bored because she wants to be outside so everyone can see her being a fiance. This is boring. I want to be outside. And I love the fact that she's so certain and sure of herself now, right? Like we never really heard Prudence. Prudence was always kind of a quiet character. She relied on her sister, but now that she has think about it. So Prudence and Philippa were always together, right? They only talk to each other, right? They don't interact.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Now that Philippa's gone, Prudence doesn't really have someone to banter with, go back to. That's why she starts bothering Penelope, because she has nothing better to do. But now that she is now a fiance, right? She's been essentially proposed to, which is not really proposed to, but she's now, in this predicament. Now her status essentially has elevated because other women are still seeking a proposal, and therefore she's better than other people, and she needs to let people know that. And so her, though, moving around, like she's like, I don't know if y'all see me, but I'm here. She talks about she's planning to sing at the wedding. I don't know if you heard all this. She's planning to sing at their wedding. She's trying, like she's just super excited.
I missed all of this, y'all. I swear I missed all of this.
When she's at the Modis, and the mom's like, no, you do not need silks. You will get cotton in your trousseau. And I'm just like,
they got to start budgeting.
They do. And I also love the juxtaposition of the planning for Prudence's wedding, right? Her trousseau, and the fact that like they need something of less dollar value. And then you have the Modis who's preparing the dress for Edwina. And then it's like, oh, the queen is like, taking care of this, no doubt. And what does she say? The Modis is like, let me get the French tulle. Because the French tulle compared to the French tulle costs a lot more than the cotton. So I just wanted, I just loved her, honestly, just enjoy Prudence in this season altogether. She also was just like, it was great to see her come up. But yeah, she was on one for this episode, because she's that big. Like she's literally like, does everyone see me? Like she was hyped. So, I'm just, either way, Prudence, favorite character, hands down. And did I have anything? Okay. The only other thing I thought, and this is, I know we're wrapping up so we can go into
up to snuff.
The one thing that I loved was Dorset saying, I wish to apologize and throw myself at your feet to Kate. And I was like,
I forgive you already.
Listen to that apology. Apologize and throw myself at your feet.
I love it.
The speak was very different at that time, but I really appreciated it. I was just like, Dorset, I see you, Dorset. I like the way he came back in. I did appreciate that. So
absolutely. One last little shout out to Theo and Eloise. I think they're such a little cute couple. They're like so progressive, and they're up there trying to, be with the people. I love it. Yeah. It reminds me of Higher Learning when Tyra Banks, I think she meets up with Omar Epps at some rally at USC. It's a beautiful scene. Just love it. I know.
Yeah, Higher Learning.
Stop it, Krystal.
I really don't know. You'd be surprised.
John Singleton directed it.
Surprise! What I have not seen. Okay. Now listen.
Let's go ahead and get it up to stuff before we get in trouble.
Okay, yes, because I actually want to. Let's go from Eloise. Because here's what I would like to understand, or at least this is more so a comment. But I felt like in this episode that they did a really good job of doing, again, another juxtaposition of like what it could be, right? So it's exciting to see Eloise like find someone that meets her wit, and their exchanges were like I loved their exchanges. They were perfectly suited to each other in the way that they can banter, because not everybody can banter with Eloise. But the Sheffield dinner to me is like the blazing warning for Eloise's situation. Because it's like, this is what could happen if you think that you can be involved with someone below your station, and like the ton will not take what, like the ton does not look well upon it, right? So granted, Eloise is like, she could care less in many ways. She does still care, but I don't think like her mother would like throw her out, right? But there's still like the warning sign, I think, for me of just like, you're seeing like what this could look like, where you could be like, oh my God, they're like perfect for each other. Look how cute they are, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, they are not in the same station, and that in that time that's not allowed. And therefore the result of that could be a loss of society, a loss of interaction. Like you could be shunned. And it may not necessarily be from your family, but you may be shunned from society, maybe shunned from your friends. There's definitely, I think for me,
consequences.
A clear picture of the consequence that could happen for Eloise, and her just not knowing, or maybe not fully understanding the impact. But I thought that was very clear in this episode in the way that they did that. So I did think that was very up to snuff, that happened, like her meeting this person that was below her station. The same day that we're meeting the Sheffield family, who disagreed with their daughter meeting someone below their station and falling in love with them and leaving with that man who had another child. Like all of it, like this was a very great way to show like this society does not take kindly to like breaking the rules.
Wow, thank you so much for bringing that up, because you know what, I didn't even put that connection together. But I did have a question for you for season 3. I'm just going to ask it. We don't have to discuss it. But of course, everyone knows that Eloise finds out at the end of the season who Lady Whistledown is. And so I think I've mentioned to you before that I feel like Eloise is going to use that power. I feel like she could use that power for something. And I would not be surprised if Eloise might restart seeing Theo going into
you think
she'll
use the knowledge of Lady Whistledown as her blackmail?
Yes, so that she can continue to see Theo,
and
because now she's already considered ruined, so it doesn't really matter anymore. And now that she knows the identity of Lady Whistledown will not speak on Eloise ever again.
You don't think she'll ever talk about it again?
No, I don't think so.
Now, for those of you that don't know, me and Penelope are not on good terms anymore.
See, that's why I was saying we don't have to talk about it, but I'm just throwing out a prediction, an early season 3 prediction. But she said me and Penelope are not on good terms.
Not on good terms.
Let's hold on to that. Let's hold on to that until the last episode. Yes, well, okay, just hold it. Because it's really good. It's really, really good about your perspective.
With Penelope, however, right? One thing I did note that I was like, me and Penelope are not on the best of terms, but I said points for Penelope for the fact that when Colin said, oh, Eloise said she was going to be with you, and she recovered quickly and said, oh yeah, I'm going to meet her later, knowing that she has no idea where her friend is, but not trying to let her friend get in trouble. And I really appreciated that, because I'm like, okay, your friends will always cover for you, and then get the detail later, like, where the heck were you? Right? Like they'll come check in on what's going on. However, what ends up happening later, because she's obviously a very smart girl, she finds her lady's maid, and asks her, she's like, oh, like she left her reticule, which, a little crumb for you, a reticule is a hand purse, like the yodel.
I didn't know that. Thank you for looking that up. Okay, great, because I had no clue what that was.
So she asked about it, and then she tells her like, oh, like I told her not to go down to Bloomsbury, like I told her like that's like dangerous and all this other stuff. So now she's just left the conversation and is now confirmed that Eloise has lied to her, right? And then at the same time, going back to Lady Danbury and Mama Bridgerton at the table, Mama Bridgerton also is sitting at the table, like looking at her friend. And again, she's looking at her like, you lied to me. You knew something was going on and you did not tell me.
Yep.
And so what came up for me is just this feeling of like, when you've been betrayed, right, by your friend, the people that you trust,
Ooh, that's hard.
When is it okay? Because think about these two situations, they're very different. But like, when is it okay? Like, when is there like the coming back from that?
Right.
Yeah, girl.
Ooh, deep. Ooh.
I felt it. I felt it today.
You made up for leaving me earlier. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. That's hard to do. And you know what? I think it's case by case basis. Like if we're applying everything to real life, like it's case by case basis. And everything is within context, right? Everything has to be within context, right? Because I do not think that a punishment can be applied to each situation. Like the punishment is going to be different for each situation, or however which way the two friends try and make up for it, right? Like it's going to be tough regardless, because you feel hurt. You feel hurt by the person that you trusted, that you were vulnerable with, that you shared your happiness with and your fears with. And then, you thought you had a connection, a really strong connection that, could not be broken. And then it breaks. Oof.
Yeah. It's hard. So I agree with you that like, there's no like one right answer to it. And then it comes down to context. I think it also comes to like, how willing are you to hear out the other person? Because sometimes you just like, you're done. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. And then one strike you're out and it's over.
Right.
But I think for me, just kind of, but one, in knowing Lady Danbury, Mama Bridgerton, I'm just like, these women are adults. And I think that they'll have the opportunity, obviously, to have the conversation and be able to hear each other. I don't feel the same way about Eloise and Penelope in this scenario, only because, again, Penelope's not my favorite person. But I think for her, it's more so it's not so much that she lied to her, but it's more so that like I feel like for Penelope, she's more so thinking about herself in this and not necessarily thinking about Eloise in this. And
right. So, of course, nope, not at all. She wasn't thinking about Eloise at all. Penelope was on her own stuff, but Penelope was also thinking like a businesswoman. I know, throw the tomatoes at me, I don't care. Penelope was thinking like a businesswoman. She was trying to protect her financial interests, which is continuing her business as Lady Whistledown. And she sees a potential issue. And it's a very conflicting issue, because this person is also someone that in her personal life is close to her, but business-wise, she could catch it just like anybody else.
You know how I feel about Penelope in that pen. Quick question, because this was something that came up for me, was when Eloise goes back to talk to Theo Sharp.
Theo, hey. Hey,
when she goes back to talk to him again, like after having gone to like the rally, she we see that Penelope sees her, like Penelope sees that she's there. So it's not until I watched it again that I'm like, wait a minute, Penelope does not have to go to the store anymore because of the fact that she has a business with the modiste. So now I'm like, did she follow Eloise? Like, did she get, because she was in, so she really paid somebody to take her to go follow the people?
Yeah,
or do you think she was like stoked? It's like, she really followed
what? Like, you think Penelope just so happened to be on her way to the printing shop, and then she's like, oh, there's my best friend and the printing shop I need to drop off my info at? No, because she's already got a secure method of getting her info to the modiste. So there's no reason for her to be going to the print shop.
You need, because it was early in the morning.
Was it early in the morning or evening? In the morning. I can never tell.
Theo makes a comment about like, whoa, like I wouldn't expect to see you at this hour. Like he was talking about like it was morning time, which means the sun is just coming up. So it's also like, why are you both out here?
But you can also say that for evening time. But I mean, like, you could also say that for evening time too, because Theo is doing, like, I'm assuming, bringing in paper. It could be evening. time, like sunset.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it again.
I can't tell. I can't tell if it's evening or morning, but either way, though, So I was gonna ask you about this. Mm-hmm. Do we think Eloise is playing with fire, consciously or subconsciously? Because Eloise does come from this station, but she has this privilege, and she's aware of this privilege to a point. But yet she knows that she's going to an area she's not supposed to be going to. She is intermingling with people that are not necessarily within her same station. And she can potentially socially hurt others around her because someone could want to spin it the other way. Is she taking for granted her privilege in going to the places she's going to?
Yes and no. I think she's taking it for granted in the sense that I don't think she realizes what her privilege means and how it impacts people. And so I think when you live a life of privilege, you don't know your life is a life of privilege until someone else shows you that you have a life of privilege. And you're just like, oh snap, I didn't realize that I could do that and you couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. Like there's not, for her, she's just trying to go down. She thinks this is fun and cool. Granted, I'm obviously coming from a 2022 perspective, but I'm just like, this girl out here, she about to get kidnapped. Like, like in my mind, I'm just like, what is she doing out in these streets? Obviously it was a different time, but for her, it's all exciting and this is so cool and it's different. And she's finally able to like be around people that think the way that she does, or like actually want to have conversations. And so for her, this is like great and exciting. And it's new, but I don't think she understands the reason why these people are able to even have these thoughts, or like to go through this process, or even the fact that this would, depending on who's watching it, this could be considered illicit, right? So one thing they did reference on when she goes into the assembly halls was Locke's treatise, whatever. And I didn't get to go into the detail of it, but it sounds like it was talking about a form of government, but it was not essentially away from the monarchy is what it sounded like, because it sounds like there were two parts to the party, but essentially this one was talking about what would be considered anti-monarchical government. That may or may not be a real word. We're going to go with it.
It's all good because you sound really important saying it. So it's all good. Go for it. So I love it.
So that piece of it is the part where, even though this is all new and exciting, and she's like, wow, these people are talking this, in this way, she may not realize how bad that is, like, or how dangerous that is, particularly being that she, because of her station, is so connected to the queen. Like, it looks like it's both an image thing, but it's also like you realize that you look two-faced, you look very hypocritical in this moment, because you are reaping the benefits of this monarchy, and to gift you power, right? And then at the same time, you're going to go back here and be like, I love this stuff. And then when people are upset because they don't have what you have, you're like, yeah, I agree. And then you go back to your house, which is paid for by the land that was given to you by the monarchy, because the monarchy required people to go handle, not the serfdom. Was it serfdoms? I don't know if this is the proper terminology. I am mixing up history, but the fact that everyone was responsible for their area, essentially, like that's where they got their money from. But essentially, their responsibility was like they oversaw something, which was therefore able to communicate from the crown. The crown would go down to the people that were in charge, and those are the people that like managed entire communities, right? They were the equivalent of like the governors and things that we don't, now that we, in a democratic society, obviously we vote people in, but in that time, you were given stations.
They were assigned based on, and even then, based on political gain. How much favoritism, how much knowledge, how much networking did you, like how close were you to the crown to be able to be assigned these prestigious positions? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think Eloise does not realize that she's a walking juxtaposition, because it's That's my word for the day, guys. I think I've used it 3 times now, and I'm like, Krystal, let go of the word. But she does. I don't think she realizes where she doesn't realize like the kind of like what she carries essentially by being in that space, or even the fact that she stands out in the space, right? Because you walk when she walks into that space and you see her lovely blue dress.
Oh yeah.
Compared to everyone else's in browns and like things that are
the color contrast. Yes.
Like no one in here is wearing lace or silk. Okay.
Wearing these like white gloves.
These are
white gloves against these, working class, colors.
Yes, these are
the browns, the blacks, the stud. Yeah. Oh yeah. She looks like she's like a walking ivory tower that went into, a dust cloud or something. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's also why Theo's face is kind of like, I love that he's kind of like, what are you doing here? But also I think in some ways he's like, yo, this girl really coming here to ask me about this stupid thing. Like I feel like it's
flattered.
I don't know if it's flattered at first, or if his first thought was like, yo, this entitled girl is really coming here to ask me about Lady Whistledown. Like she came to find me to ask me this dumb question. Like I feel like that may have been his first thought. But then when she was talking about like why she was there, and I think he was like, oh, so it's because you like my stuff. They were cute. They were really cute.
I thought they were really cute.
And I also love when he's like, I'm Theo Sharp, and she's just like, I know. And then she was like, okay, no. Like she's like, don't do this. Oh, I loved it. It was
I love it.
It was the one that gave you the little feels. You're just like, oh my God, you guys are so cute.
They're so adorable together. I love it.
They are. I did want to just one little note. I was a little sad when I saw Lumley congratulating Edwina and Anthony at the lake. I was like, Lumley would have been perfect for Edwina. And so it bothers me that like now he's like, congratulations. I'm like, you don't mean that. You don't need to be with her.
Yo, I'm Team Lumley all the time. Team Lumley and Edwina.
They would have been a perfect match. And I think this goes back to my question from last time about like, do we feel bad for like, I guess part of it's also just the marriage mart and the game, but it's like, I feel bad, not 100%, but I feel bad for like Cressida, right? This is her second go round. Someone's courting her. She's in the process and that's like it goes south. And then same thing, Lumley, like he was in it and he was perfect. And then like, here comes Bridgerton and then boop, he's gone. And I'm like, dang, that's not fair.
He's gone.
They put in so much work and it's not fruitful. I don't know. That made me sad. Yeah, I saw it happen and I was just like, ew, no. Get out of there. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I just felt bad for him at that point, but I get it. Another like random note, but I feel bad saying this, but I'm a little sad that Will is dressed in all of the scenes. Like Will showed up and I'm just like, Will.
Wait, what? Say it again.
I feel bad that whenever I see Will, I'm just like sad that Will is dressed in all of the scenes. I miss Will being a boxer. Look, you can't remember him anymore.
Oh, my baby.
Will without no clothing. This is very sexist, and I acknowledge that. I apologize, but it's true. I miss the seeing of the Will without the shirts, and also recognizing that the reason why that scene when Anthony comes out of the water is so crazy is because the men are always fully dressed. So there's no such thing as like men walking around with their shirts off. So you will only ever see a man without his shirt on if that man is your partner. And he's invited into your room, into your quarters. And even then it's not guaranteed. But yeah, I thought about that. Like I was like, oh, this is actually a lot. And then poor Kate, who's already been fanning herself the entire episode. Ooh. Poor thing. She was out here trying to fan herself with a book. You know how hard it is to fan yourself with a book? These things are heavy. You can't fan yourself with it.
She said these things are.
You can't do this.
You can't do this. Did you just bust out that big book?
She was trying to fan herself with the book, and I'm like, hey, stop. You were tiring yourself out. when she was talking to her mother.
Break your wrist. Mm.
But yeah, whew, girl, it was a lot.
I love it. Let me ask you a question. I've been kind of unless you have one. Do you have
I definitely have questions. I still got more.
Okay. So this is the one I've been kind of like that keeps getting passed over the last 2 episodes because I keep forgetting to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
It is Anthony. Now, of course, I feel like this question probably is working really well now because we saw the very messy, family dramaful scene with the Sheffields, the Sharmas, the Bridgertons, and Lady Danbury. So we all know what went down in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is Anthony interested in Edwina to get to know her, or is he fueled by the constant blocking of the sister, right? Because Kate constantly has just been blocking the hell out of him.
Mm.
Have you ever wanted something you couldn't have? Or the only reason why you go after it, is it because you can't have it? So is Anthony fueled by pursuing Edwina so hard because Kate keeps blocking it? Like, would he be going through all this as if Kate wasn't in the picture? If it was just Lady Mary and Edwina versus he's purposely, like now wanting it so much more because he can't have it. Did that make sense? Or did I confuse you?
I understand what you're
and
asking.
Everybody else. My fault.
No, I understand what you mean. I think that Anthony would have gone for Edwina if Edwina was the diamond. That's the reason why he went for Edwina anyway, because she happened to be the diamond. Mm-hmm. If it had been somebody else and that wasn't Kate's sister, this would have never become a thing. So if that were the case, if Edwina had not been the diamond, he would not have gone for Edwina simply because Kate and him were fighting, because Edwina was not the diamond if that had been the case. Excuse me. So it's only because she's the diamond, and the practical thing is, let me do this quickly, I'll find somebody and I'll be done with it. The issue I think that happened is like in his like pursuit of Edwina as his bride. He's like, Kate, every time Kate kind of comes here and needles into stuff, he realizes how much he enjoys it. And it just keeps like, that's what keeps building up on it. So the having part is the fact that it's kind of like, I'm trying to do something, you keep bothering me. Like, I'm trying to do this over here, and you keep coming over here. Like, you keep coming over here with your smell goods. I didn't ask for all that. Like, that's what keeps happening.
Coming over here with your smell goods. Ooh. Kate is, though.
Think about it.
Have you noticed Kate's hair has been a little bit more relaxed? Like, it's not like pent up like a governess, but it's starting to be a little bit more softer.
Interesting.
It's starting
they more hear this round.
More ringlets. Just nice, subtle softness.
All right. Yes, I did notice that. I liked it though. I thought her makeup, by the way, like when she was in the garden talking to her mom, I was like, it was like
the mother-daughter scene. I really appreciate those scenes.
Yeah. I know we'll probably have to come back to this next time, and hopefully we'll actually do a quick like Bridgerton bite one of these days on like IG Live. That's the plan.
Oh, okay.
One, but some of us just get a little busy. But
and what's a Bridgerton bite? Let's make sure we share with everybody what a Bridgerton bite
is just there's a lot of things that we don't get to finish talking about while we're in the room here, and we're about to like head out of here, but because we always have so much more to talk about, we figured we'll like bring back like a simple topic, and we'll jump on IG Live to have that conversation. So I guess I can share, if you're looking for us, at least my Instagram handle is @Krystal's Clarity, Krystal with the K. KrystalSclarity. Mar, do you want to share yours?
So mine is at MSE Socialite.
Excuse me. So we'll definitely do one of those coming up soon, because there's always so much more to talk about. We want to talk about Kate and her mom. I love the fact that Lady Danbury called herself a harridan, or she said that she's not a harridan. We'll say what that means on one of our bites. And yeah, there's just so much more to talk about. We also have to go back to the anticipation scoring. We're going to send that over to the Bridgerton Bites on Instagram.
So yes, let me make a note of that. Because you know what? The montage should be added to that, anticipation moments. And I'm going to add that. I'm going to add the montage from the beginning, because that right there, that montage in the beginning of the episode, steamy. We
also have to add the ring and the
you think the ring?
Because the moment with the ring, when he's holding her hand and that step forward, go back and watch it. When Anthony's watching her hand, he steps forward into that personal space.
Does.
You got to watch it. And then obviously my existence is also probably in there.
Ooh, bane of my existence and object of my I swear, let a man roll up like that. Oh, it might be a wrap, y'all. Oof. It might be a wrap. Okay, so we got those three. So any other anticipation moments? Should we add, because we didn't talk about the ending of this episode that really annoyed the hell out of me. Oh, maybe we should do that for Bridgerton Bite also. Because that one right there, because you were kind of watching the very last part of the episode right before we came on. And I told you, I said, go ahead and mute, because remember, I was listening in.
Yes.
While I was kind of like doing my own little stuff. And I was like, just go ahead and mute me, because I don't want to hear that last part.
That was fierce. Yes, we can come back to that. That might need its own time, to be honest.
Oh my God. Because we're dealing with two secrets. Okay. So just to kind of bring viewers up to speed, we're dealing with two secrets. The first secret has to do with the Sheffields, right? Which during this episode gets called out, that Kate had agreed to a deal with the Sheffields. That's if Edwina married someone, a proper English gentleman that of circumstance, that Edwina would inherit the Sheffield fortune, basically be the person that would inherited the Sheffield fortune. But of course, that got blown out of proportion. Anthony told them, y'all got to leave. So that's out. But that was one of the secrets. And that was one of the secrets that Lady Danbury and Kate kept going back and forth on. That was one of them. The other one was about Kate's true feelings about Anthony that are now had been slowly building, but we can see they're there. Like that day room scene, the nighttime. So there's a daytime day room scene and a nighttime day room scene. It's the nighttime day room scene that really put Kate in a debacle. Like, old girl is all messed up now. Yes. Because she's just like, but I'm supposed to leave, go back home to India. And Anthony's just like, you don't understand. Like, I've got the Jones for you. Like, it's serious.
Girl, all right. We're going to bring this.
Jones in for her. He Jones all of this. Other secret. And that one, he's Jonesing for his. He Jonesing from brown skin, though. He Jonesing for some brown skin. Because Kate,
mochaccino chai latte.
Good. That chai, beautiful. That's a kiss. Okay, let's go ahead.
We gotta wrap it up.
We gotta wrap this one up. So, Krystal, that's it for us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter at Krystal and Mara. And if you're listening, please leave a review. You can find us on any device or application that you listen to your podcast. We are going to be back next week July 8th at 10 p.m. And I hope to see everyone back then. Thank you so much. Krystal, this was that episode. I'm trying to tell you, girl.
We finally made it.
So I love it.